Hi, it's Amy. I'm back again. I know I haven't shot a video in over a week, but I just needed a really good topic to talk about. So I have one today, and it is about games. Now, I am a game freak. I like to play games, whether it be board games or computer games or video games. Now, as far as board games go, I like the basic stuff, Monopoly, Connect Four, Trivial Pursuit, stuff like that. Computer games, I have two sites that I go to, clubpogo.com and games.com. Those are the only two game sites I go to. And as far as video games go, well, with video games, it's a little bit different for me. I have to have something that really catches my attention. It's got to be something that I could really get into. I have to read the description, I have to read reviews before I will even bother, because I want to make sure it's worth my time. About several years ago, I came across this one game and I read the description. I thought, okay, well, this sounds like something I could really get into. And I was a member of GameFly at the time. And I got the game and I started playing it. And I absolutely fell in love with it because, one, it was something that, didn't bore me, it didn't put me to sleep. And two, it added the element of Roman mythology. I'm sorry, Greek mythology, not Roman, Greek mythology. And for those of you out there that are video game heads, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I really like the fact that it added that element because it was an interest of mine. I've always been interested in ancient civilizations, ancient cultures, religions, all that stuff. So to bring in Greek mythology into a game, I thought it was really cool. It just, blew my mind to sit there and play this game and have all these characters coming up. So I absolutely fell in love with the game, like I said. And with GameFly, they tell you that they don't have due dates, but if you keep the game beyond a certain amount of time, they will start emailing you to return their game or you'll be charged for it. And I was so into this game that I was ignoring my emails. I wasn't checking my emails. And lo and behold, I got a charge on my credit card for this game. And I was like, why am I being charged? Why do I have a charge on my credit card for this game? So I had to call them and ask them this question. It's like, why am I being charged for this game? They're like, because you've had the game for 25 days. That's why you're being charged for it. I was like, but I thought you guys said no due dates. They were like, okay, look, we say no due dates, but if you keep the game over 25 days, we will charge you for it. And it's in the fine print. You got to read stuff. I'm like, they said, okay, this is what we'll do. If you don't want to be charged for the game, send us back the game. We'll refund you your $25. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll do that. So I sent them back their game, and they sent me back my money. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But the fact of the matter was, I had to get my hands on a copy of this game because I was just so into it like that. I mean, those of you who know out there, I would play this game for hours, and I know there are hundreds of thousands of us out there like that will play games for hours, especially something that we're really into. We will only get up to eat and go to the bathroom, and that's how it was. I would play this game for 4 or 5 hours on end before I would stop. And I just loved it to death. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Now I have a 17-year-old son, and he is a video game junkie. I can't tell you how many games this boy has. He has had every single PlayStation system that there is, except the PlayStation Vita. That's the only one he doesn't have. But he's had every PlayStation system there is. And like I said, I can't tell you how many games he has because he has so many. It's like you go in his room, you see games in the It's a drawer, a set of drawers. It's three drawers that I bought him to put his games in to keep them from all off the floor and off the TV and here, there, and everywhere. I still find games here, there, and everywhere, even though this thing is right here, but it's full. So there's still games here, there, and everywhere. But needless to say, my son got hooked on this game as well. And it got to the point where he was starting to figure out the game before I could. He was staying one step ahead of the game. He ended up finishing the game before I did. I wasn't too happy about that, but he loved the game as well. It was something that he could really get into. It was a lot of action. There was a storyline, and I like games with storylines. If it has a storyline, and it sounds good, it's got good reviews, I will play it. And this game had a storyline. It had good graphics, um, and there were I'm so sorry, and there were little mini movies in the game, so you could follow along, and you're not left wondering why certain things were happening in the game. You would already know because there's little mini movies you can watch. So it was a lot of fun. But this game has become, I don't want to say a phenomenon, but it's very, very, very popular. Um, there have been several other games that followed this initial one, and two of them were made for the PSP. And then either last year or year before last, I can't remember which, they came out with an edition for the PS3. And when that happened, I was floored. I was overjoyed because when they had them on the PSP, I would take my son's PSP with me to work, and I would play before work. I would play during lunch. I would play whenever I had a break. I would sit there with this thing and I'm playing. And when I would tell him to give me his PSP so I could take it with me, he would almost have a fit. He's like, "Oh, really, Mom? Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, really. Give me your PSP." So, this game is fascinating. It's great. I love it. And when we played the last installment of this game, which was the third part, and it came out 2 years ago, it was either 2009 or 2010. Um, we both played it, and we were both like, when we got to the end of the game, we were like, no, the game cannot end like this. This is not right. They can't do this to us. And then lo and behold, we hear about another edition, another installment of this franchise, and we were both just so excited when we heard about it. And we can't wait. I believe it's March 12th of next year. They are releasing another edition of this game. And, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, and even those who have figured it out already, I'm talking about God of War. It is one of the greatest video games I have ever played. And I've played quite a few. But it is really the only game that I can really get into nowadays. Um, it just has that element for me, that action and adventure, plus bringing in something that is an interest of mine, which for me is just fantastic. I love it. It's just something that holds my interest. I can sit there and play and play and play and play and play and just be totally happy, be in my own little world. If my phone rings while I'm playing, I will have a fit. If my kids come asking me a question or bugging me about something while I'm playing, I will have a fit. I tell them before I start, I'm getting ready to play this game. Don't come asking me for anything. Just leave me alone. So, like I said, God of War is one of the greatest games I've ever played. If you have never played God of War, you do not know what you are missing. It is absolutely great. So you got to go get this game. I know I'm going to be getting the new one coming out next year. In this house, it will be God of War Day when that game is released. We're gonna sit, my son and I are gonna sit here and play God of War all week long. We're gonna have so much fun. It's gonna be great. Just great, great, great. Um, and for those of you who are waiting on, what am I trying to say here? Waiting for the new game to come out. And if you are a member of PlayStation.com, the PlayStation Network, you can go on there and play. God, what is it called? God of War: Rise of the Warrior. It is a puzzle game, and using graphic comics, and you have to sit there and read and figure out this puzzle, and it shows different images, and you've got this riddle that goes along with it, and you have to figure out what the answer is. I tell you, that thing racked my brain when I was trying to do it. I'm like, what? And you have the not option. You are required to join either the Spartans or the Trojans. And for those of us who know God of War, you better be on the Spartan side. So, um, and you just play through the game. It's not very long. They have um, another episode coming out this winter. It didn't say when, but they have more episodes of it coming out soon. So I'm really excited about that. Yay! So I'm looking forward to that and having my brain rack some more with these riddles. But God of War is just totally awesome game. You guys gotta play this. Gotta play it. Even if you're not a video game person, and you like ancient civilizations and mythology and stuff like that, like I do, still play it. Play it anyway, because you will get to like it. And it has all these different puzzles and, characters you've got to talk to get through certain stages. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. So that was my video on God of War. And, I've been wrestling with this video for a while because I wasn't sure what I was going to say in it. And so I was, kind of like, do I really want to do a video about this? But apparently I did. So there it is. And, I hope you guys go out there and play it if you haven't already. And those of you who have and you loved it, we'll be right there with you next year on the release date. For those of you who have played it and didn't like it, well, so what? You played it, you didn't like it. Who cares? Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.